So do you guys remember in our latest video when we were talking about the Prince of Persia remake and I said that I was tired and that at this point I really don't know what to make of what's going on? Well, I'm tired. Like, looking at the Assassin's Creed content that is coming out recently for Assassin's Creed Shadows and seeing some of the images and the videos of this particular video game, I gotta be honest with you, I thought this game was bad when I played it and reviewed it and finished it. I can only imagine, or I couldn't even imagine just how bad it continues to get. When I show you these screenshots and these video clips of this upcoming collaboration that is available right now with Assassin's Creed Shadows, collaborating with Attack on Titan, one of my favorite mangas, by the way, the fact that they're collaborating shows me that Ubisoft has gotten not only extremely desperate, but this is the same energy as, hello, fellow kids, that kind of a meme. This is the same energy that Ubisoft is putting out there right now, because at this point, they truly don't probably understand that nothing is going to be able to save this video game from its own personal failure of trying to abandon their fans and then paying the price for it. That like button, subscribe, all that good stuff that the YouTube algorithm likes. Leave a comment down below. It only takes a couple of seconds and YouTube seems to like that stuff. Let's get into the content regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. So you guys already know the history of Shadows, but if you don't, I'm just going to fill you in a little bit. So Ubisoft announced that they are working on a Assassin's Creed in a Japanese setting. This is something that everybody wanted. This is something people were asking for a long time, especially with the explosion of Ghost of Tsushima. When that game came out, people were saying, what is Assassin's Creed going to do? Can you imagine an Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan? That was a talking point that a lot of people had, and when you asked them, hey, what would that look like? A lot of people described essentially what Tsushima looked like, right? Japanese protagonist, right? Singular protagonist, not a dual protagonist. Singular protagonist, Japanese male samurai, or something along those lines, or a Japanese male ninja, something along those lines is what people would say. And then you'll have people cope and lie and tell you, no, I've always imagined a Yasuke in this situation, but no, nobody did. They only said that after the fact because they obviously have to maintain the ideology and pretend like this is something they always wanted. Well, what ended up happening was they finally announced Assassin's Creed Shadows, and when it was leaked and first talked about, Yasuke was revealed and everybody lost their mind, right? Because everybody's looking at this like, why would you choose Yasuke of all characters to represent feudal Japan in an Assassin's Creed Shadows based in Japan? Everybody could come up with whatever BS answer you wanted, but at the end of the day, we all know why they chose Yasuke. They could have chosen any male samurai in history that would have been more relevant to Japanese history, but they decided to go with Yasuke for whatever that reason may be. Now, the truth is that in Assassin's Creed, fictional protagonists have never not been a thing, right? All the protagonists have been fictional, but at least they would make sense to the area of which they are being fictional in. Their background would make sense, their nationality, everything would make sense to the area of which the game is taking place. But for some reason, when it came to Assassin's Creed Shadows, they said, you know what, we're going to take a real historical figure with a very murky background, with little to no knowledge about him, and we're going to write up this entire nonsense story about it and treat him as if he was historically accurate. At least when the Japanese portray Yasuke, they're portraying him as a folklore type character that everybody knows is completely made up. They might show him in samurai armor, they might show him as a warrior, but they all know it's not real. They all know it's fake. But Ubisoft didn't do that. Ubisoft advertised this game as being historically accurate, and that is why they had their downfall, in my opinion. Now, everybody knows what happened with Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game came out, and it was the #1 game in the galaxy. It is still the #1 game in the universe, according to everybody except the people who know better. Ubisoft has been putting out numbers recently, and they claim that the Assassin's Creed franchise is a massive success, and that it is having 30-some-odd% more play sessions. Yeah, not copies sold. We don't do copies sold here, guys. We don't even do players engaged anymore. Now we do sessions played. So that means that if you're playing Assassin's Creed and you decide to log off for the day and come back later in the day, guess what? You now count as 2 for the same day. Congratulations. You are boosting Ubisoft's very successful number. Now that we have a little bit of history about Assassin's Creed Shadows and the nonsense that's around that video game, let's talk about the controversy. This is what everybody wants to hear and talk about, and that is the latest Attack on Titan collaboration. Guys, when I saw this, initially I thought it was not real. Initially I thought it was AI, because the cutscenes in the video game are so bad they might as well be AI. I'm gonna end up showing you the cutscenes in a couple of minutes, so stick around for that in the video. But the cutscenes are so bad that they question, like, I really do question, what the hell are we doing? Like, what are we seriously doing here at this point? Now, me being a massive manga fan, if you guys don't know on this channel, because I very rarely promote it, I have a manga channel. I have a manga channel with almost 17,000 subscribers. The channel does very, very well. It's mostly short form content, and I go over my collection of over 2,000 manga books that I have right now. That was my goal by the end of the year, to try to surpass 2,000 manga books, and we passed it. And next year I'm going to aim for about 3,000 to 4,000, depending on, you know, how lucky I could get, how much space I have, which is starting to run out. But still, that's the goal. Anyway, that doesn't matter. If you want to go subscribe to Hypnotic Manga, but that's not what this video is about. So I love Attack on Titan, right? I know all about Attack on Titan, and to see this collaboration and the way that they are doing it, it screams desperation to me. It screams that Ubisoft knows that they don't really have much else left, that at this point they have to be essentially giving the same energy as Hello There Fellow Kids, where they're trying to pretend as if they're one of the crowd, right? Like, you guys like anime, right? They're one of those people. We know we like anime too. So what we're gonna do is, first we're gonna go over the video of the cutscene that is being spread around right now from the event. Apparently this is a limited time event, so this is for them to get those play sessions up, right? Because now that we know how they're counting their metrics and what they're considering a success, they are going for play sessions. So they made a limited time event that's going to run until towards the end of December to try to boost the maximum amount of sessions engaged before the year ends. I'm not surprised. Let's look at this cutscene and then we'll come back.
You want a meal, monster? Come and get it! Titan is on my heels. I must hurry.
Now, the ironic thing is that the gameplay actually looks better than the cutscene, which, again, if you look at that cutscene, it screams AI to me, especially when Yasuke did his battle cry. What the hell was that? The guy barely opened his mouth. He looks like he was screaming with his mouth closed. It was weird. But in any case, so clearly this cutscene is very strange. The quality is very bad, and overall, it screams desperation. I really don't know how else to explain it other than massively desperate. Ubisoft having no other avenue to try to bring people in other than to say, hey guys, we'll give you the anime that you guys like so much. Come play our game for a limited time. We're gonna run this quest line. You don't want to miss it. They're doing FOMO. That's what they're trying to do. FOMO marketing to try to get those good sessions engaged. That stupid metric that they're trying to claim as success. It's unbelievable. But if you think that's where it ends, that is not where it ends, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently there is a quest line giver. Okay, the person who gives you the quest for this is a person by the name of Ada. And if you look at Ada, well, let's just go over this tweet from Learning the Law. Okay, so the tweet says the following: well, this is the main female side character from the supposedly critically acclaimed Assassin's Creed Shadows in the latest Attack on Titan collaboration. And when I tell you I was not ready for this screenshot, I wasn't. Warning, if you thought the Prince of Persia remake was going to be a jump scare, you haven't seen anything yet. Guys, what am I looking at? What am I looking like? What am I sincerely looking at, ladies and gentlemen? So if you look at this screenshot, Ada is saying, but once Gautwin realized they were working against the crown, he resisted. But forget the text. Look at the picture. What am I looking at? This girl looks like she just got beat up not even like 3 days ago, and she has a swollen face. It looks terrible. What are we doing here? What are we sincerely doing? I just don't understand, man. I don't understand who this is supposed to appeal to. I'm not asking you to make them a supermodel, but goddamn, bro, like this is very clearly meant to push a certain ideology, and it really is unfortunate. It is so unfortunate. I really feel bad for the major fans of Assassin's Creed that have problems with this. Now, obviously, there are some major fans of Assassin's Creed that will just eat anything that are related to Assassin's Creed. They're never going to say anything bad or negative, and they're going to just keep it moving, right? Because they'll hope that it gets better. By saying nothing, they're going to hope that it gets better while everybody else does the work for them, of course. But in any case, Ada is a big problem for a lot of people. It's currently going viral right now on social media. People are sharing around the picture of Ada, and it clearly is something to be laughed at. There's no doubt about it. And of course, you're going to get the comments. I mean, I got the comments on my other video of people who are like, oh my God, you're complaining about this? God, you never touched a woman before? These people use kindergarten insults and think they're getting at someone. Meanwhile, you're commenting on my video, helping boost my video. Who's the one really winning here at the end of the day? But again, please continue because it's hilarious and I love it, and I could use you for content later down the line. Now, aside from Ada, there is one more particular video that is being spread around right now on social media, and this one has to do with apparently a Naoe and Yasuke love interest. What the hell? When did that happen? So if you look at this tweet over here from G Assassin, this is where I got it from. It says, peak Ubisoft quick back spoilers for the new quest of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I don't know if they're a shill account or something along those lines, probably, because if you look at their profile, it says Assassin's Creed fan, Ubisoft creators. So okay, so they're tied to Ubisoft financially. Okay, so this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. So they ended up putting out this video, and if you see this video here, you're going to realize that the game tries to hint at Yasuke essentially wanting to plow Naoe. Now, keep in mind, Yasuke essentially plows almost every single female in the game beforehand, even some that historically would make no damn sense. But again, we're not even going for that at this point. Once you started doing the Assassin's Creed, Attack on Titan collaboration, the whole historical accuracy argument just completely went out the water. So let's look at this screen. Let's look at this video. It's extremely cringe, so please make sure you have your cringe pants on. Check this out.
I'm pretty tough, huh?
Yeah.
I am.
Ooh, they're pretty close, Kinu. Jealous?
No, please, don't kiss her.
What?
Ugh. You weren't.
What? No. Never. And I know I could never steal you away from Kinu.
Say that again and we'll have to do it for real.
Bro, oh my God, bro. Like, who is writing this stuff? I thought that the story was bad in the initial Assassin's Creed Shadows, but seeing what is available in the content updates and the DLCs and whatnot, this is unbelievably bad. At this point, I don't even know what to even say that hasn't been said already. Now, apparently, Yasuke wants to plow Naoe, and I don't understand why he's saying he can't take her away from Kino, considering that he screwed with other people's wives anyway in the video game prior. So why would that stop you now? That it's the weirdest thing, bro. Somebody who clearly is into cuck simulation wrote this particular dialogue, and it's a female writer living out her fantasies. This is what's really happening here. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, Assassin's Creed Shadow is proving to all of us that this is maximum levels of cringe, and some of the comments are absolutely hilarious, by the way. How did we go from Assassin's Creed, the original franchise? How do we go from that to this? You know what I mean? Like, it just blows my mind when I look at gameplay and remind myself of the original Assassin's Creeds. How did we go from that to this? I just will never understand. This is what happens when companies get too comfortable, companies get lazy, they hire activists, and the entire gaming industry has been infected with this mindset of we have to do this. Like, they all feel like when they write their characters and they do their content, that it has to be something like this, like a CW show. And it really just shows. It is so blatantly obvious. It is old all over the place, and it really is unfortunate. Now again, guys, just as a final reminder before we end the video, I want you guys to understand what this has done to Ubisoft as a company. Ubisoft, as we always mention, was 25% bought out by Tencent. They had to take a little bit over $1 billion of investment in order to save their company and pay off their debts because they were so debt heavy, and Tencent came in, swooped in like a savior and gave them the money as long as they gave them 25% stake into the properties that they actually cared about, which was Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry. Those IPs that were solely owned by Ubisoft are now shared with Tencent, and it's only a matter of time before Tencent continues to get even more share into Ubisoft. This is what is so worrying about this, because when Tencent's very good at this, right? Tencent will slowly but surely kill you as a company, pretend to be on your side, and then take you over and buy you out when you're cheap after you've made all of your mistakes. And these companies are continuing to do this, like Ubisoft, continuing to make these mistakes. If you even want to call it a mistake, at this point, I don't even think you can call it a mistake. I think decisions is really what you should call it. These are decisions that they are choosing to make that is not in the best interest of the franchise, of the video game, and of the players who actually play the games. This is never going to be something that's going to benefit the franchise, and you could try to lie to people, and there are people out there that will clearly believe it. You have a bunch of shills on social media, or you have non-shills but anti-wokers, right? Or people that hate, I guess, whatever they perceive to be anti-wokers. I really don't even know what to call them. You have people that are on social media that will believe anything the corporation says as long as it fits the narrative of owning the chuds, even if everything around it is clearly not true, even if they can say that, oh, the franchise is a major hit, but then they had to sell the franchise to Tencent. Even if you have all of this information, you're going to have people out there that will believe everything that corporation says, so long as it fits the narrative that they're looking for to use against the chuds, right? And this is why you can be toxically positive all you want. You can go on social media, you can listen to these people. Ubisoft specifically stated that all they cared about was critic reviews. That's all they cared about. So as long as the industry that practices access media continues to give them glowing reviews for their projects, they're going to continue to release the same shit to the same people and hope for the best, even though they are clearly not doing well, that they are damn near going bankrupt. Tencent had to save them, and it's only a matter of time when after a couple more years of this nonsense that they're going to be in the same exact predicament, and Tencent's going to go from 25% to 50% until eventually they fully own Ubisoft hand over fist. So you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this collaboration with Attack on Titan? What do you think about Ada? What do you think about everything we discussed in this video? Thank you guys so much for watching the video, liking, commenting, doing all that YouTube algorithm stuff. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.